Mike Dillon.
Thanks, Jerry. You know, I wanted to come in and say, you know, a neighborhood schools model and transportation, and that's certainly something that I'm going to be pushing or continuing to push. But I think the more I think about it, the more I'm starting to figure out that it's discipline. Especially in the climate that we have right now, you know, it seems like there's a lot of behavioral issues going on. And it's been in the public, but what do we expect? You know, at the end of the day, we just kept our kids out of school for almost 2 years. The adults around here are at each other's throats all the time. There's not a lot of cordial interactions going on when it comes to big topics. And so, you know, what do we expect? We have our kids in school after all of this time. They got a lot of pent-up anger. They still have masks on their face. We're still putting them in a difficult situation. And I think having a good disciplinarian in every single building is the best way to run a school system. We were talking about it the other night with Liam Skinner about effective discipline policies, and we were talking about my uncle Tim Fallon and how he ruled with an iron fist out at the Voc, and you know that school operated incredibly over his time there, and it still does because he's still around, right? You can tell as soon as you walk into a building in Lowell if there's a good disciplinarian in that building, how good that principal is doing with controlling those kids. And you know, it doesn't mean being, you know, mean and you know, hard-nosed and but you got to be tough. And you know, getting a chance to wrestle and coach with George Bossy for 8 years, he always preached that. And what he always said is kids need discipline, and they actually thrive on it. And at the end of the day, even, you know, if you're hard on them and you keep them in line and you tell them what needs to be said, at the end of the day, they respect it. You know, and they're better people for it. You know, I think we need to get tough with our discipline and make kids realize that you don't act like that here. You know, that's something that Liam Skinner said the other night. And so I think that's the most important issue going forward. And it's what's best for our kids and our schools.